because it's going to be a good one. Karrueche Tran, Quincy, and my homeboy Brandon T. Jackson, and Big Tigger. Please give them all a round of applause. Hi, sweetheart. Hello, good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Quincy, hey there. Hey there. Yes.
Oh, good to see you.
How beautiful. How are you?
And I will let you have the floor.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
What's happening? All righty, people. Y'all all right? All right, so let's get this thing started. It's an exciting panel on stage right now. You may see them living a fabulous life, doing the things that they do on Instagram, social media, all of that. But they will be the first to tell you it ain't easy. There's a hustle to it. There's an art to it. And there's hours and hours of hard work that go into building your brand. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Don't forget, I think we're going to try to take some questions from the timeline. So if you're out there in social media land, please use that hashtag BETGeniusTalks and hashtag MyExperience. And if we get some time out, we're going to talk to you too, because we like y'all, all right? So starting from the bottom, now we're here. Start with you, Brandon.
What's up?
Tell us your story. How did you get your start? How did you get here?
I started, I used to, I still do stand-up. I started doing stand-up when I was like 18 years old,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I came out here, it was my spring break, and I told my dad, I said, either I'm gonna make it or I'm gonna go to college. That's exactly what I said. I said, either I'm gonna go. It was a bet I had. You know, I had 6 months to make it. And then I left high school, and I told him, I said, you know, I did 3 minutes at the Laugh Factory, and out of nowhere, I had an agent for CAA. I got signed to a little, Nickelodeon deal at the time.
Right.
You know, it was just crazy. So my whole thing worked. I worked on the stage before. I did Apollo when I was like 16.
Nice.
And then I sent my Comic View tapes to Monica Swan, who was casting a movie called Roll Bounce at the time. And she was like, we want you to come in for it, and they just let me go, and then she cast me for the part. And from then on, it kept going. And thank God, you know.
You've been grinding. Give a man a round of
Grinding.
applause. Q,
What up, baby?
talk to him.
Yeah, in high school, growing up, I played baseball. Baseball was like my life, my everything. That's kind of what I breathe, eat, sleep. And then with my family situation, we moved around so much, and they made me ineligible to play sports, like when it really, really mattered. And I kind of had to give up that love. And, of course, my family doing music, and I grew up around music. It was just so next door, and it's something I was always interested in. But finally, I started, making like the hobbies now more of my main interest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then with the music and the acting, that became like my passion. Because I think it was junior in high school. Like I went on an audition on accident. My mom was like, "Hey, I heard this having some audition. You want to go?" I was like, "Yeah." Didn't really do too much preparation because I didn't want to, tell nobody, because I didn't want, just in case I did bad, I didn't want nobody to know. And then I went, and then next thing you know, like a week later, I got a call, and then they said you booked it, and it was a movie called We the Party that Murray Van Peebles directed. Right. So that was like my first, thing. And from there, people start to see you, and, you start to make a little noise, and they want to see what's more, you know what I mean? So thankful for the people who, give, us these opportunities to let, the world see us, and, from there it's history.
That's right. Miss Tran.
Hi.
Yeah, clap, 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 clap. Talk to him.
My big break definitely was joining the cast of The Bay,
Okay.
which is a web series that I'm on. When I first joined, it was Emmy nominated, and now the show is Emmy winning.
Nice.
And which is an awesome feeling because, if anybody knows, I just recently started acting within the past couple of years. And I'm going up against people who have been doing this all their lives,
Right.
which is, very tough. But from there, it has opened plenty of doors for me, which is a blessing. And here I am.
Nice. Nice. Clap, clap, clap. Now, I'll start with you. What specifically attracted you to the screen? What was that inner voice that says, you should be on this screen, this is what you should be doing with your life?
At first, to be honest, I had no idea. Like, I would have never thought I'd be an actor just because I was always shy and, I just never knew. But then once I started working with a coach and started getting into it, I really found a love for it. Acting for me is like therapy. Emotionally, I like to keep things bottled in, and when you're an actor, you have to bring forth plenty of different emotions. So for me, I'm able to release that into my performance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brandon, what besides being silly all the time,
My thing, I was always, my dad's a pastor, so he used to hit, the
Really?
mic. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You're looking at PKs are the worst ones. No, no, what it is it was, I would watch him on the mic, and what he would do is, like, out of nowhere, in the middle of a sermon, he would go off on, because we live in Detroit. Detroit is like, it's a ratchet meter as a level orange in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So he would go off on the stuff in the city, and then he would get mad, and he would make the whole church laugh. And I was like, I can do that, but I don't want to do it basically on the, in the church setting, like in the pulpit or whatever. So what I would do is I start going on stage and different stuff, and then when I did the movie with my first movie with Bao, and it when the director just let me go, and I saw people laughing in the movie theater, and they was laughing at the same thing that I said 2 years ago.
Right.
It was like magic, the therapy of having people, really love what you do is a blessing that you're able to, give that therapy, and for me, I love when the reaction happened, it made me like fall in love with more giving it to the people opposed to just doing it for myself.
That's right. Now, Q, you grew up in this family that we're all well aware of. Was that a plus or a minus?
It definitely was a gift and a curse at the same time, I mean, just, from outside in looking in, my dad, he can get me to the door. He can't keep me in the door, I mean, stuff like that. But, when I really strategically thought about my career and saw kind of like the next 2-3 years ahead of me, I didn't even want that bring me to the door thing, because that's kind of like half the work cut out.
Right.
And I still kind of want to be respected for, well, not kind of, I still want to be respected for everything I was doing, whether it's the music, whether it's, the acting and stuff like that. And just like she said, like once I dove into the acting and stuff like that, like I found like a new kind of form of expression that I can express myself that I really can't do anywhere else. Like even with the music, the music is its own thing, the acting is its own thing. And of course, the bigger I get, whether it's the acting or music, I'm using, both platforms to kind of like, complement each other. And that way it's like I'm able to really put my work in and people can see it and respect it rather than just say, oh, that's Diddy's son, yeah. They made that call, which is, of course, I get it,
Right.
Can't run away from that, but, it's finally time for people to, really recognize me for me and see what I do. Yeah.
Nice. So you all started from a place of what we'll call from the bottom and started taking gradual steps. When did you say, okay, this is serious, I need a manager, I need an agent, I need to, like, for real? When did you really recognize, like, oh, I might be on to something?
Probably within, like, the past year, I guess. Things have just been moving so fast for me right now. And sometimes I just sit back, like, day to day, and I'm just like, wow, like, this is really happening. Like, I have a team, I have a management team, I have a stylist, I have agencies, and it's like, again, I would have never expected that this would, no, but it's a blessing, because at a time in my life, I was very, like, lost and just didn't know what I wanted to do, and now, finally, things are coming together, and I love it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Inspirations. Everyone has somebody they look up to, role model and mentor. Let's start with you, Brandon. Who are some people that have inspired you along the way, continue to inspire you, and or mentored you throughout your process?
Far as the screen, I always watched, of course, for dramatic, I always watched Denzel. I always watch how he, what he did in films that make people want to watch him. Certain actors have captivating, things that make you want to watch. Denzel's the best at that, But then for my comedy, I always watch Martin and Eddie, and Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? Because they all have a certain, especially Chris. Chris Rock has a very, social commentary on society. He's able to talk about society, and we all laugh at it, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially these times, we need comedy now with all the stuff going on with the cops and all the other stuff. Somebody got to make light of the situation, and to be able to do that, if you look at some of our older people that used to do it, they made fun of how society was.
Right.
And it flipped it on its head, and people were able to laugh at it and, bring races and everybody together. So people like Eddie Murphy, people like Martin Lawrence, people like Chris Rock, guilty pleasure comic is Cat Williams. That dude is. That dude is. Be
careful, Pimpin'. Be careful.
But he, not saying his personal life, but his way of flipping society. I always liked that, so that was kind of my thing.
Quincy?
Somebody who I just idolize is The Rock.
Really?
Yeah, everybody look at me like, for real? I'd be like, yeah, it's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I mean, I was a wrestling fan, growing up, and, seeing his whole transition and him as an actor and that whole thing, he just gives me like a huge, like, feeling like, I want to be like him just because I know I could be like him. Okay. But it was from that, it started with the wrestling,
Okay.
And musically, I grew up like listening to a lot of old school cats, I'm talking like Barry White's and Al Green and stuff, but then, growing up, like I was into Craig David,
Nice.
I was into Usher, of course the, Tribe Called Quest, that stuff, and that kind of stuff just gave me, good feelings and good vibes, and I want to, produce music just like that. Yeah,
You're gonna be in the gym for a long time to look like Rock, bro. Karrueche, who are your current inspirations or past inspirations?
For me, it would be Victoria Beckham.
Nice.
She is the epitome of a woman. She has a whole package. She has her business, she's so fashion forward, she's very family oriented, and that's a goal for me. Wherever life takes me, I want to, stay grounded and have all those fundamentals.
Okay, so Victoria is someone, if you could work with anybody, who's your dream counterpart collaboration? Who's somebody that oh man, if I could just get a scene or a song or a comedy tour with that person, who would it be?
Actor would be Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
She's Halle Berry, come on. She's amazing. And I would love to one day be alongside her in some scene or movie, something, anything.
So, Quincy?
As far as actors, definitely Will Smith. Okay. Definitely want to, I like from the Fresh Prince, till now, it's like you can't get bored no matter what, and I believe, definitely can create something cool with him. And musically, definitely want to collab with Drake. Okay. Drake is one of my favorite artists. He's obviously amazing in everything he does with the singing and the rapping and everything. So yeah, definitely Drake.
B?
You said all the light-skinned people. Will, Drake took all the light-skinned people. I gotta go with the Golden State Warriors. That's what I want. Let me see. Wesley Snipes. Denzel.
Kevin?
No, Wesley's a cold actor though, man.
Yeah, he is, no doubt.
Sorry, he just took them all. Let me think. Actually, I want to work with Kevin Hart.
He's working all day.
He's killing
too.
it. I like Kevin is really. I like Kevin was always that person, and this is one thing I love about Kevin Hart, and he was always that person that when he was coming up, and he's always a little bit older than us. He would always like, yo, young Brand, get on stage, young Brand, you got to do it, And then he always like kept me. He always, I remember we was at the Comedy Store. He's like, yo, you still on stage? Like, I'm getting it together. And he was like, yo, young Brand, I'm killing out here on this road. I'm going out for, look, this is real story. He's like, I'm going out for this movie, a lottery ticket, and they wanted, it's real story. And I was like, yo, I said, I'm in that movie. And he was like, yeah, I'm killing on this road. Next thing I know, this dude just blew up like crazy. And he always was that type of person that was so humble and so cool that it made you feel, like he said with The Rock, it made you feel like you can do it too. So that's one person I think like now I want to kind of work with. I do want to work with. I'd just be, be a blessing to, just to be able to have the experience to do that. So
nice. Quincy, you're in one of the best films of the year, Dope. Anybody seen Dope?
Yeah.
A lot of people calling that like this generation's classic. That's a good look. What was that experience like?
I mean, simply amazing. Shout out to director Rick Famuyiwa. He also directed The Wood, if any of y'all familiar with The Wood. So Brown Sugar, and then, many others, and then he did Dope. I mean, the whole cast, the whole time, we filmed right in Inglewood, wasn't too far from here, and, we shot it quick, in like 23 days or something like that. Yeah, so we got it done quick, and, it was an independent film, so we did, encounter the ups and downs of independent films with timing and stuff like that, which was, okay, but, I think everybody had that solid relationship, and the whole cast had like this nice open line of communication with the director that kind of made everything just go by swift. Like, Forrest Whitaker came up to set, checking in with everybody, making sure we good, like Pharrell, everybody was just so, we all love the project, and it all, you could tell. And then from just the way it, from start day to finish day, we just knew we had a special, project.
Indeed, great movie. Go see it if you haven't seen it. Dope in theaters now. Karrueche, you mentioned you have a team. You got the glam squad, you got the management. Tell me, you got a lot of things happening. Tell me what you got going on coming up.
Definitely. Right now, I am on another web series called Vanity, which is on stylehall.com.
Okay.
And it comes out every Thursday. So y'all gonna watch that. My other web series, which is The Bay, we just wrapped that a few weeks ago. That'll be out in September. Next month, I have a movie out that I was the lead role called Three-Headed Shark Attack. Yes, Three-Headed Shark Attack.
Did you die?
You gotta watch it. I can't tell you.
You know we don't make it through
you
the
better
movie.
You have to watch it. Though. I know, but it's a good movie. You'll see. And also another movie called The Nice Guy, which is coming out as well.
She working.
Yeah.
I see you. She working.
Got to.
Working. Brandon, you've had some major roles. Do you think you're treated any way differently as an African-American comic/actor than, say, some of your Caucasian counterparts?
Oh, you trying to get me set up. I can't answer that. We all equal, right, y'all? What do you say to that?
Kumbaya.
I'm so real. I'm from Detroit. I say real stuff. What do I do? I think that everybody, if you believe, anything is possible for whoever believes. So it's individual, man.
That was a really nice, safe answer.
Yo, man. No, because let me give you. Okay, this is what it is. I just feel like, think about this. There's a select few group of us, right, that can do this, but it's a lot of them. So it's like I have a friend. He's a white actor, Caucasian actor, right? He can't get parts because there's too many that look like his type. You know what I'm saying? So he go, dude, I can't go out because you got, so it's a select few. You know what I mean? That we have, so not like this, but you have only so many, so many roles. So I think that it's harder in the sense of numbers, but at the same time, I think talent talent, the cream rises to the top. That's what they say. Is that safe or is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot. So let's talk about social media, which has a lot to do with this panel. Seems like it's taking over your way a lot. That's your own personal PR machine. You can brand yourself, get your name out there, and all of that stuff. Answer rumors, do this, that, and the third. What are some tools to handle that effectively? Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. What are some ways to effectively handle that? And since you're laughing, we'll start with you.
Wait, what was the question?
Well, what's some good ways to use social media to advance your platform and your branding?
Social media is everything. The best part about it is that it's so accessible and so available, and you're able to directly reach out to your audience. For me, my Instagram, which I love, I'm on Instagram all day, every day, but it's me and it's my lifestyle. It's the food that I eat, it's the fashion, it's if I'm going for a run, maybe I'll, post that. Your fans get to see you every day, and I think it's very important if you're trying to build a brand to invest and to really use that tool to help your brand and your career.
Quincy?
Yeah, I just think it's, you got to play it safe, though, because it being accessible and so accessible is kind of like, a gift and a curse, in its own thing as well. I just think if you really have a plan, you really have to, strategically think about, especially if you want to build your brand and stuff, how to really do that. It just can't be just a bunch of everything, because sometimes too much is too much, and sometimes you got to, get that, quality over quantity. And, especially with, different brands that reach out to you that want to cross promote and stuff like that, you have to look at yourself too. And what do I want to represent for the long run? What are you trying to go for? And, stuff like that, you really got to take seriously, especially the bigger following you get. I had to stop answering a lot of people who, and then people want to shout outs and stuff. You got sometimes you got to chill on the shout outs, stuff like that. Just everything, just becomes real specific, and you got to be careful just because with that being such a huge tool and, sometimes the only tool you have, you got to be real, just careful and specific, but definitely, is a help, as long as you strategically set it up right, yeah.
Jackson.
I'm going to sound like an old man right now. Go to my Instagram page. I'm still working on it, okay? I am so, because it's not, I'm trying to make, it's hard because, like he said, you don't want to give too much of what you do at the same time. You want to keep that mystery. So I'm still trying to figure out how to really brand myself on my Instagram. And if anybody want to give me any suggestions, because I come from like the old school where you hide out and you make write a movie and so I take all my time and do that. I'm writing films and I'm trying to, and I give it up to Marlon Wayans, because he's good at doing all of it. He's tweeting and so I'm kind of not the person to ask. I actually will ask some of my, people that anybody can help me get my stuff together. I need more than 137,000 followers. These guys. So retweet. But yeah, I'm still learning.
For everybody listening, I've been telling this to young people for the last couple of years. This is important to me to express to everybody watching and listening. You are what you tweet, people. You are what your Instagram. There was a young lady who went to an HBCU and she passed, and I heard the story, and I didn't know her, and the only way I got to know her was to go to her Instagram. The picture painted on her Instagram didn't give me the best picture of her as a person, but that's all I had to go on. If you die tomorrow, all people have is your tweets and your Instagram, so please remember you are what you tweet and protect your brand.
Amen, amen.
Now, they about to kick us out of here. Before we did, she done told us all 92 movies and shows she got coming on. What you got coming up, Q?
Yeah, I can, finally all the acting stuff kind of calming down a little bit. I can finally say my album is finished.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been working for like a year and a half, 2 years, just on this nice little project, and I finally, at a finishing point. I hate when I do this, but like I always don't know when I'm finished. It's like, but you have to really, as whatever it is, if you setting a goal, if you got a project, set a deadline. You got to set those things so everything can become realistic. Because, I'm an independent artist. I ain't got no label telling me, yo, you got to turn your album in, boom,
right.
boom. So I'm just like, I got songs, and then I record more songs. Like, damn, these old songs, I don't want no more. Let me grab these new songs. But then it's like, I got to find a finishing point. So I'm finally at the point now, and I say before the end of the summer, I can give the world a little self-titled project, Quincy. Yeah.
Nice. Brandon.
I got my my sitcom coming out on NBC. Sitcom, like we bringing that old, that the Fresh Prince type, that whole feel with Steve Harvey shows, all that 3 camera shoots on NBC August 5th. It's called Mr. Robinson. It's with Megan Good, myself, Craig Robinson. I got a TV show I'm producing also and starring in, executive producer starring in, called Comedians of LA. It's about the road life of comedy. It's on 2 networks, Oxygen and Esquire.
Nice.
And I don't have a date yet for my stand-up comedy special, but it's coming soon. And I think people going to get to know who I am, not just, the dude with the goat legs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but to all my young people, y'all can do whatever y'all put your minds to. Not to sound like a preacher, but know that y'all the next generation. So just know y'all can do whatever y'all put your mind to. I love this generation. This generation is fearless. You know what I'm saying? So keep it up. This is the best generation, y'all. Keep it up.
Hey. Anyway, so we talked about social media.
Too many beards out here. Sorry. Everybody got a beard now. Sorry, I'm done.
Tell them your social media so we can get out of here. Tell them.
At Brandon T. Jackson. Follow me on Instagram, Brandon T. Jackson. Snapchat, Brandon T. Comedy.
Just at Quincy, real simple. So.
How'd you pull that off? Nice. People.
My Twitter and my Instagram is at Karrueche, Karrueche, because I know y'all don't know how to spell it.
Mine is at Big Ticket Show on everything. If there's a social media platform, I'll probably have it at Big Ticket Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We know y'all all continue to make big moves. Give our panelists a round of applause, please. Make sure you check out some of the other amazing things happening here at BET Experience. Thank you. My name's Tig, and this has been Genius Talks. Turn up.
Thank you.